Thank you very much. Next up, we have Rosalie Zuckerman, who is attending Lewis and Clark College next fall and will continue to be in speech in college. She's going to be performing an impromptu speech, which she prepared while I was performing. And she's going to be doing a speech for 5 minutes using one of the prompts that you sent in before. Good luck, Rosalie.
Thank you, Milo. For judge and audience reference, the prompts that I were given were tennis, top hat, and cactus. So if you put those in, you can take a little pride in yourself. The one that I chose is cactus. So I will begin now. 4 years ago, before I joined speech, I had never been out of the country, nor had I traveled to much of the US. I'd been to 3 states, California, Georgia, and South Carolina. So not a whole lot of varied landscapes. However, in my sophomore year of high school, I went to the Arizona State University tournament in, obviously, Arizona. And when I landed on that plane in the Phoenix airport, it was a shock to my senses. My mind was blown wide open because I had not seen this many cacti, ever. This was a different kind of world. It is a city in a desert. And I will let you know, I was not exactly super calm throughout this whole trip. We went back next year and I was still very excited, but I proceeded to hug many of the cacti, lightly, of course, safety first, but I did embrace these cacti, and my teammates will attest for that, because it was exciting to me to see a new landscape, and specifically to see the majestic ways that Mother Nature can produce such a variety of nature and plants. The amazing cactus, which comes, as I saw firsthand, in so many different shapes and forms. So today, I would like to take a step back and think more about what the cactus represents as a whole, and especially in our society today. First off, I'd like to talk about how it represents judgment. Secondly, how people are different on the inside than out. And thirdly, diversity. So first off, let's take a step into that scary word, judgment. It is so easy to judge people. These days, there is everything between us. We have so many struggles between race, class, gender, religion, political affiliation. There are many ways to divide us. And now it is easier to judge people than to be united together. When you're looking for a book at the library, you can't read every single book. You're forced to judge it by its cover, and you need to make a decision. So when you're looking at all the plants, which one are you going to be more receptive to? A beautiful tulip blooming with colors, oh, so pretty, or a harsh cactus full of needles? It's practically a living weapon. No one wants to go up and hug a cactus, but I did. And cacti represent how people naturally judge us. And this is harmful because it prevents us from realizing what the other side has that you need to recognize that we can all benefit from. When we shut our minds to cacti, we do not realize that there's so much more to offer. So moving on to my next point, let's see what exactly there is to offer from cacti. As we determined from my first point, judgment just makes us realize the bad things about it. But now let's talk about the good. Cacti suck up water. And now I don't know a whole lot about plant biology because AP Bio was last year, and let's be real, I've forgotten most of that. But they're full of liquid, and a lot of birds with long beaks in the desert will poke through the cactus and drink this, and that is how they stay hydrated. Cacti are supporting whole ecosystems of life. And so when you look at a cactus and think, wow, that looks like a dangerous weapon plant that's gonna stab me, what you aren't seeing is that it's full of life-giving juices and nectar. And that's why you need to take the time to get to know somebody, to get to read that book, because if you only judge it by its cover, you'll never see the great story it has inside. Now, finally, I'd like to close out my speech today with my third point about diversity. This is a word we have all heard a lot lately. Diversity, equity, inclusion, these are things that are so important. And one thing I didn't know when I was a kid is the importance of deserts. California is a drought-prone state, and growing up here, I assumed dry equals bad. So I thought, okay, if the world were just a giant rainforest, that would be idyllic. I didn't realize deserts are important. They're important for the diversity of Earth. And so while diversity is so important, talking about people and society today, it is also important to remember the diversity of Earth, of nature, of the amazing variety of landscapes we have on this planet. So if there's one thing I'd like to leave you with today, it's to remember that we need to preserve these deserts, not judge them by what we think is ideal, what we think is right. We need to take some time to get to know them, to get to know each other, because there is always something bigger underneath those spikes. Thank you.